Oh, so good to see you guys. Okay, so tonight's topic is You're Already Perfect.
So I came. Had a long week.
Good.
I was like, do I leave the house or do I keep working?
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you gave yourself a break. Yeah. So, so we've been talking in a construct called the Three Principles, and I am going to talk a little bit about them tonight. And if you get, if you get a little lost, don't worry. Like, just ask or just follow along and see if you whatever works. It's fine. And so in this arena of we're already perfect, this has been a really interesting one for me. It's one where on like some levels I really feel it really deeply, and on other levels I feel like I have a ton more to learn. So I thought I'd just start by sharing with you what I've seen for myself, and then we can explore what resonates for you, what doesn't resonate for you, and just and then go in any direction that you guys want to go in. Okay? Okay, very cool. So, so first of all, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about what attracted me to this arena of the Three Principles in the first place. Like when I first heard it, why did I keep listening? And I've met a lot of people who say, when I first heard this, it didn't speak to me at all. I don't even know why I kept showing up, and then like all of a sudden I heard something that just, a light bulb went off for me, and then it like opened up a lot of interesting new ways of viewing the world. And what I realized was, for me, the thing that I heard was, you can be yourself. And the you that you are, when you just relax and stop trying to meet anybody else's expectations, that's the best you. And it was such an incredibly freeing feeling for me. When I went to college, it was the first time that I felt that feeling of just being able to let go and like be myself. And I never thought that I would give it up, but when I went into the work world, I was getting a lot of messages, like, you have to dress a certain way, and you have to wear the right shoes. And when you sit in a meeting, you need to sit in a certain way to convey a certain message. And when you speak up in a meeting, you need to say it in a certain way so that people respond in a certain way. And, just on and on and on, all these messages about should. And over the years, it got more and more and more exhausting. So to hear this message, like, relax, and the you that you are, when you're just you, is the best you. So that's kind of the first piece of We're All Perfect that sort of resonated for me. The second thing that happened for me is that I started to hear about this idea. Last week I drew a picture of the diamond with the gunk on it. Okay, so and I'll draw it for you guys that weren't here. So this is a drawing that my teacher Michael Neal draws a lot, and it's this idea that we're all a perfect diamond, and especially like when we're born. You know how you look at a little baby and they don't have an ego yet, they don't have self-consciousness yet. My favorite example is when you watch a little kid learning how to walk. They fall down 1,000,000 times and they could care less, right? Like they don't stop and say, I'm never going to get this, I'm going to stop trying, right? They just, but through the years we get messages, and those messages of, I'm supposed to be a certain way, or I'm not good enough, or I'm going to be happier when I achieve, when I get the right house or the right job, or what all these messages that we acquire as we get older, they start to glob on to our perfect diamond. And they obscure our connection with our perfect diamond. And then he says, and then we put a layer of nail polish all over the whole thing to make it pretty.
That's my phone number.
So back to this diamond inside of us, and I started to like think about that and kind of explore it. And what happened to me was I knew that I had it, like I could see it in me. I didn't have a problem with that, but I wasn't sure that everybody saw it in themselves. And so I've been, over the last several years that I've been learning this, I've been asking a lot of people, like, do you know that place in you that's always fine, that nothing can hurt? And I just recently found the first person that told me that she didn't have it. But without fail, everyone else I've asked, and she does have it, hers is just even more covered up than most, but everybody else that I've asked has said to me, like, yes, I do. I know that place in me. And I had one client who said to me, well, yes, it's just very, very small. But even then, like, she knew it. You know, she could identify with it. One of the most profound ways that I've ever heard of describing this is that if you hear, sometimes you can hear a Holocaust survivor say that, you know, I went through the most horrific experience that a human could ever imagine, but there was always a place in me that they couldn't touch.
Mm.
Yeah. So that was kind of my second experience in exploring this. Then what started to happen for me, and this is like one of the coolest things ever, is that more and more and more I start to see it in other people, even if they can't see it themselves. The beauty in each person that I encounter has like just blossomed. I mean, everybody from like, I don't know why I'm thinking the dry cleaner, because I don't go to the dry cleaner, David does. But you know, just like the person that you encounter at the grocery store, or you know, the bus driver, or I mean, like I just started to be able to see the beauty in each person. And the interesting thing is, like, there are definitely people in my life that I maybe like harbor some resentment towards, and those are the people that it's hardest for me to see their diamond. But even when I have trouble seeing it in somebody, I know that it's the way that I'm thinking about them that's creating the block for me to be able to see their diamond, not that it's not there. So that was the third thing. Two other things came to me just as I was like sitting down to dinner tonight. One is our ability to heal. Okay? And our ability to heal both physically and emotionally. So like, you know, we get cut and it's like our body has this incredible ability to heal, and there's just something so perfect in that. And the same thing with our emotions. And we can have really, really rough things happen to us. And for some people it's, you know, harder to heal than others. That goes for physical healing and emotional healing. But we all do have the capacity to heal over time. So that to me also kind of points to that perfectness. And then the fact that we live within these three principles. So I'm going to just describe them. So we all live in the same reality, even though we experience it differently. And that reality has these three principles at its core. So the first part of this reality that we all experience is that we live in a spiritual world where there's a universal energy, a universal intelligence, whatever you want to call it. There's something that is impacting our existence, and you can observe it. So you observe it every time you see the leaves change color in the fall, and then fall off the trees, and then sprout up again in the spring, and then, you know, be green all summer, and then turn again in the fall. Like it's the magic of nature. it's the enchantment of our ability to breathe without having to think about it all the time, to have our hearts beat without having to think about it all the time. And it's that essence in us that goes away when we die, even if our body's still here. There's just something, and that we, it's like this intangibleness that we all exist in. So that's one thing. Second thing is, we all live in a world of thought. We think all the time. Everything that we create in our lives is created by thought. Every experience that we have is created through the thoughts that we have about that experience. And our realities are created through thought. Like we couldn't have an experience of life without the power of thought. And then the third thing is consciousness, which is the thing that gives us the ability to see both of those things. The ability to see this energy, this formless energy that exists all around us and in us and everywhere. And then also gives us the ability to see thought and the role that thought plays in our lives. So again, that sameness, and our thoughts are all different. That's what creates a unique experience for each of us. But the fact that we think, that we live in a world of thought, that we live in a world of intelligent energy, or formless energy that can be called a million different things, and that we can be conscious of both of those, makes us all the same. So that's another thing for me that points to the perfection of all of us. And then the last one is that, and this one just kind of came to me late today, the fact that anything that we think is wrong with us, or that someone else thinks is wrong with us, is thought created. So it doesn't make it any less real to us, but it's created by our thought about that thing, or society's thoughts about that thing, or some other person's thought about that thing that's labeled us as broken in some way. Mm-hmm. So to me, that also points back to the perfection of each of us.